they've caressed me as oft times before. Well, I never will play the wild rover no more, and it's no, nay, never. No, nay, never, no more will I play the wild rover. No, never, no more. And it's no, nay, never. No, nay, never, no more will I play the wild rover. No, never, no more. Thank you all so very much for coming. It has been a wonderful evening. Now, I think it's about time I tuck in. Throat's a bit dry now. It's been a pleasure.
What a night it has been. Oh well. Performing in taverns is worth it. If it means we all get the chance to sleep under a roof for the night. And hello there. Still awake, are you? Our fearless leader. Was I a bit too, noisy? Apologies, if so. But you really ought to be resting. I should too. But you especially, as the leader of our merry band, it's of vital importance that you take care of yourself. That you be kind to yourself. Oh, you're trying, are you? Well, considering you tucked in for bed nearly 2 hours ago, I imagine it's not going that well, is it? It's all right. I can stay with you until you're ready to sleep properly. Oh, it's all right, really. I've got quite a bit of experience getting by on little sleep. Besides, I'm not actually that exhausted. I play it up sometimes for the crowds, so they stop demanding encores. Well, you know, I do have a preference for energetic songs, bawdy songs, drinking songs and the like. They're fun, and they have deep culture to them. But at the same time, well, one can only sing so many songs of ploughing maidens across the entire continent before it starts to all blend together. It's always about ploughing maids. That's always the through line, really. Probably some form of conclusion to be drawn from that, but, well, we're not here for philosophy, are we? We're here to get you some rest, aren't we? So, How's about I tell you a story, eh? And perhaps that story will help you relax and breathe and drift away to slumber, eh? I have some notes here. You see, most people, they think the work of a bard is just writing pretty music, singing pretty songs, dancing and joking and performing and ploughing maids, as it were. But that's, in truth, only a small portion of what it really means to be a bard. Now, philosophies differ from person to person, but each bard follows a particular ethos, a particular philosophy, a particular college. It's a way in which they express their creative and bardly tendencies. In my case, I am one of the College of Tomes, meaning that study is actually a significant portion of what I do. I still care deeply about my performances, my musical prowess. However, the truth is, to me, it is the cultural impact of music and the things that entertainment says about the society within which that entertainment is created and enjoyed. That's where real interest lies. The history and inspiration behind a song. So I'm going to tell you today about a song that is very near and dear to my heart, because its origin is intrinsically tied to my own history. So, to start with, a bit of recent history. My home, Elturel, I presume it's one you're familiar with. After all, its end, as it were, ended up being the talk of the Sword Coast for a while. You see, the truth behind what exactly happened is that an archdevil named Zariel essentially deceived every single citizen of Elturel into signing away their souls to her. The idea was to gather herself an army for her continued participation in the blood wars in the infernal plane of Avernus. Nasty business, that. Very, very nasty. The end result was, of course, that the entire city was dragged by infernal chains into Avernus. And, were it not for the timely intervention of a group of adventurers, myself and everyone else in El Terrell would have become devils. Inhuman and inhumane monsters who desire greatest suffering for all things. But thankfully, an intervention there was. And so, the call of the hells ceased to manifest in us as an inexorable pull towards the river, and instead caused a sudden awakening of Tiefling ancestry in all those in El Terrell at the time. There were Tieflings prior to those events, but El Terrell's descent marked the single largest point of genesis for a Tiefling population in recorded history. Now we get to the music. You see, the adventurers who rescued us at the time, they were in Baldur's Gate when El Terrell disappeared in the city in a time of frantic refugees pounding on the gates, begging to be let in after their entire home had vanished into the hells. These adventurers, they happened to seek an informant in a very particular tavern known as the Elf Song. Now, this tavern, the Elf Song, is very special. It gets its name from the spirit that haunts it, that of an elven woman who, at irregular intervals, would sing a song in ancient Elvish, mourning a lost lover. It's always the same song, always the exact same lyrics and the exact same tune, always singing about that lost lover. But when the adventurers came, those who would eventually rescue all of us trapped in Avernus, the apparition, the spiritual elven maiden, appeared and sang her woeful lament. Except, while the tune remained the same, the lyrics changed. They became something prophetic. They told a story of El Terrell, of my home, of what was to come, of what had been. Now, my ancient elven is rough at the best of times, so I could never do that song justice if I tried to sing it in the original language. And so I decided Later on, having been released from Avernus, having been freed, and having my whole life in front of me once again, I decided I wanted to commemorate that version of the elf song never before heard and never heard again since. I wanted to pay tribute to it for telling the story of my people. So for a long time, I endeavoured to translate the song into common, that I might sing it myself. But regrettably, a direct and literal translation caused near complete obliteration of complex internal rhymes and metaphor. And so it became a functionally impossible task until, while later, we had that whole trouble with the Absolute and those adventurers who killed it. It was a whole mess, right? Massive brain over the city of Baldur's Gate. Well, wouldn't you know it, I happened to be staying at the Elf Song myself at the time, trying to find inspiration for my work. And wouldn't you know it, the elf appeared, and sing she did. But, well, she sang something different, and quite unusually, she sang in common, still the same tune, with similar lyrics. There's a structure to the story of each version of the elf song, but in common. Suddenly, I had a method by which I could translate certain parts of the song as accurately and faithfully as possible to the original intent. I started work on it right away, even as I pondered the implications of what she was singing about. I mean, it was, well, quite concerning lyrics, wasn't it? A song of Balderan, founder of Baldur's Gate. Well, regardless, shortly before everything went messy, I managed to do it. I made a rough translation and have been tinkering with it, fine-tuning it and perfecting it ever since. All this is, of course, to say that I have, by this point, fully memorised the tune of the elf song and have a passable method by which to translate the lyrics into common. It's not quite a lullaby, is it? But it's a slow and calming song that holds a certain amount of personal significance. So, here, within my notes, I have the rough translation. You'll forgive me if the singing is a bit slow, stilted, even. It's, well, my first time actually performing it in front of anyone. So, congratulations on being the first, and do feel free to share your thoughts. Later. I mean, for now you really ought to just get some sleep. All right. Enough stalling. Here we go. Oh, sing a song of El Terrell, of water, woods and hill. The sun dawns on her ruddy cliffs, and fields green and still. This land of long abiding joy, home of the strong and brave, renowned by all across the realms, and never once a slave. Oh, sing a song of El Terrell, when foes are at her door. Her fields are torn by cloven feet from some infernal shore. Arise, the mighty hell riders, take up your swift, keen swords. Then charge into the hellish fray and scatter devil hordes. Oh, sing a song of El Terrell, and when the night does fall, sleep safe beneath companions' light until the dawn does call. We're bound by mortal covenant that only ends with death, and so we'll sing of El Terrell until our final breath. Ooh, 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 ooh. Well, that is, that. It's, well, sort of been my life's work, translating that song. A bit embarrassing to say aloud, but it's true. I hope you took something from it, whatever that may be. In any case, seeing as how you've not quite drifted off just yet, I do have one more song I could sing for you. This one is not one that I had a hand in the creation of, but still holds some personal significance. It was written by a good friend of mine after the passing of our shared mentor. 'Twas her own mournful lament. Isn't that always the way? The greatest tragedies inspire some of our greatest works. Regardless, it's a song she wrote to honour our mentor. And so it is a song I would gladly sing for you now. you're really going to get to see exactly why I have an aversion to singing softer music. It's just not really compatible with my preferred style of singing and of music, but regardless, well, Alfira did pour her heart into writing this, so in honour of her and of our mentor, I shall do my best. Dance upon the stars tonight, smile and pain will fade away. Words of mine will turn to ash when you cool the last light down. Moon reminds me of your grace, all the love I can't repay. Rest and know that I will pray. Farewell, my dear old friend. Moon, sun, all remind me of your grace. Faith, care, all the love I can't repay. Moon, sun, all remind me of your grace. Faith, care, all the love I can't repay. Dance upon the stars tonight, smile and pain will fade away. Words of mine will turn to ash when you cool the last light down. Moon reminds me of your grace, all the love I can't repay. Rest and know that I will pray. Farewell, my dear old friend. Dance upon the stars tonight, smile and pain will fade away. There's a reason I tend to prefer more energetic folk music. I'm shit at singing softly, but, well, you look awfully relaxed, don't you? So I guess that's a victory, isn't it? Good night, my good friend. May your sleep be restful. Ah, well, isn't this something? I had planned to leave after telling you that, but, well, your head's in my lap, isn't it? Guess it's the same rule as with cats, isn't it? When a weary adventurer lays in your lap, you must remain still until they're done. Well, I suppose we'll be taking our rest together tonight then, shan't we? Far be it from me to complain. Good night, my friend. Take better care of yourself in the future, all right? Now, us to. I'm glad you find me soothing, if nothing else.